Have you ever felt like you're just trying to get through the day? You're constantly on edge, exhausted, and even small tasks feel like climbing a mountain. It's not just stress or burnout. You might be living in what psychologists call survival mode. It's a state where your body and mind are stuck in a high alert, fight or flight response, originally designed to protect us from immediate, life-threatening danger. But in our modern world, this response can get triggered by chronic stress, and instead of shutting off, it stays on. So, what does living in survival mode actually feel like? One of the biggest signs is hypervigilance. You're constantly scanning your environment for threats, real or imagined. This could mean overthinking a boss's email, feeling anxious in social situations, or startling easily at loud noises. Your nervous system is basically on overdrive, always expecting the worst. This constant state of alert is incredibly draining, which leads to another major sign, chronic fatigue. You might sleep for 8 hours, but wake up feeling like you haven't rested at all. It's a deep, bone-weary exhaustion that coffee just can't fix, because your body is continuously burning energy to stay on guard. Another telltale sign is emotional numbness or dysregulation. One moment you might feel completely detached, like you're watching your life from outside your body. The next, a minor inconvenience could trigger an explosion of anger or a flood of tears. This happens because your brain is prioritizing survival over complex emotional processing. It is trying to conserve energy by either shutting down emotions or reacting intensely without much of a filter. This can make relationships really difficult, as you might withdraw from loved ones or have reactions that seem out of proportion to the situation. Cognitive function also takes a major hit. In survival mode, your brain's prefrontal cortex, the part responsible for planning, decision-making, and focus, goes partially offline. The more primitive, reactive parts of your brain take over. This is why you might struggle with brain fog, have trouble concentrating, or find it nearly impossible to make decisions, even simple ones like what to have for dinner. Your memory can suffer too, especially short-term memory. You might forget appointments, misplace your keys constantly, or struggle to recall conversations you just had. It's not you being lazy or careless, it's your brain literally rewiring itself to focus on immediate perceived threats. So what causes us to get stuck in this state? Often, it's rooted in past or present trauma. This doesn't just mean major, life-threatening events. It can also be what's called little t trauma, ongoing situations like a high-pressure job, a toxic relationship, financial instability, chronic illness, or even growing up in a chaotic household. When stress is relentless and you don't have the time or resources to recover, your nervous system learns that the world is an unsafe place and adapts by staying in this permanent state of high alert. It's a coping mechanism that was helpful at one point, but has now become a debilitating pattern. Recognizing you're in survival mode is the first, huge step toward healing. It's not about blaming yourself, it's about understanding what your body and mind have been through. The journey out of survival mode is about teaching your nervous system that you are safe now. This process is slow and requires a lot of self-compassion, so be patient with yourself. One of the most powerful first steps is to focus on your body. Remember, survival mode is a physiological state, so we need to use our bodies to signal safety to our brains. A simple and effective technique is deep, slow breathing. When we're stressed, our breathing becomes shallow and rapid. By consciously slowing it down, we activate the parasympathetic nervous system, which is our body's rest and digest system. Try this. Inhale slowly through your nose for a count of 4, hold for 4, and exhale slowly through your mouth for a count of 6. The longer exhale is key. Doing this for just a few minutes can send a powerful signal of safety to your brain. You can do this anywhere, anytime you feel that wave of anxiety rising. Another powerful tool is grounding. Grounding techniques help bring you back to the present moment and out of the spiraling thoughts of anxiety. Try the 5-4-3-1 method. Wherever you are, name 5 things you can see, 4 things you can feel, 3 things you can hear, 2 things you can smell, and 1 thing you can taste. This exercise forces your brain to focus on your immediate sensory experience, pulling it away from perceived threats in the past or future. It reconnects you with your body and your current environment, reinforcing the message that you are safe right here, right now. Movement can also be incredibly healing. This doesn't have to be intense exercise. Gentle, mindful movement like yoga, stretching, or even just a slow walk in nature can help release the pent-up tension and stress hormones stored in your body. When you move, focus on the physical sensations. Feel your feet on the ground, the air on your skin, the way your muscles stretch and contract. This helps you get out of your head and back into your body, which is a crucial part of healing from a state of constant mental alert. As you start to regulate your nervous system, you can begin to address the thought patterns that keep you stuck. When you catch yourself catastrophizing or assuming the worst, gently challenge those thoughts. Ask yourself, is this thought 100% true? What's a more balanced or compassionate perspective? This isn't about toxic positivity or ignoring real problems. It's about breaking the habit of a mind that's been trained to see danger everywhere. Over time, you can create new, more helpful neural pathways. Creating a routine that prioritizes safety and rest is also vital. This means setting boundaries at work and in your personal life. It means saying no to things that drain you and yes to things that nourish you. Ensure you're getting enough sleep, eating regular, nutritious meals, and making time for activities you genuinely enjoy, even if it's just for a few minutes a day. These acts of self-care are not luxuries. They are essential for showing your nervous system that the crisis is over and it is safe to power down. Remember, healing is not a linear process. There will be good days and bad days. On the hard days, be extra kind to yourself. Acknowledge your feelings without judgment and return to the simple practices that bring you comfort, like deep breathing or a warm cup of tea. If you find you're struggling to do this on your own, please consider seeking support from a trauma-informed therapist. They can provide you with tools and a safe space to process the underlying causes of your survival mode. You don't have to go through this alone. Understanding survival mode is about reclaiming your life from a state of constant reaction. It's about moving from just surviving to truly thriving. It takes time and effort, but every small step you take toward regulating your nervous system is a victory. You deserve to feel safe, calm, and present in your own life. Thank you so much for watching. If this video resonated with you, please consider liking and subscribing for more content on mental health and well-being. Take care of yourself. Do you ever feel like you're just getting by, constantly running on empty? Like you're stuck in a state of high alert, just waiting for the next bad thing to happen? If so, you might be living in survival mode. It's not just a feeling of being stressed. It is a deep-seated physiological and psychological state where your body and mind are constantly prepared for a threat, even when there isn't one. This state often comes from past experiences, maybe a difficult childhood, a period of intense pressure, or a traumatic event. Your nervous system learned that the world wasn't safe, and it got stuck in the on position. Think of it like a smoke detector that goes off every time you toast bread. It's trying to protect you, but its sensitivity is dialed way too high. So, what does living in survival mode actually look like? Well, you might feel constantly anxious or on edge. You could struggle with sleep, either finding it hard to fall asleep or waking up frequently. Decision-making can feel overwhelming, and you might find yourself either avoiding choices or making impulsive ones. Physically, you might have chronic tension, digestive issues, or just feel exhausted all the time, no matter how much you rest. Emotionally, it can lead to irritability, feeling disconnected from others, or a sense of numbness. It's like you're watching your own life from a distance. The key to understanding this is the autonomic nervous system. This system has two main branches, the sympathetic, which is our fight or flight response, and the parasympathetic, our rest and digest system. In survival mode, the sympathetic nervous system is in overdrive. It's pumping stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline through your body, keeping you ready for action. While this is incredibly useful for escaping a real danger, living in this state long-term is draining and harmful to your health. Your body isn't designed to be in a constant state of emergency. The good news is, you don't have to live this way forever. Healing from survival mode is absolutely possible. It's a journey of teaching your nervous system that it's safe to power down. The first step is simply awareness. Recognizing that you're in survival mode is a huge, powerful first step. It's not a personal failing, it's a natural response to overwhelming experiences. Give yourself some compassion for just how hard your system has been working to keep you safe. So, how do we begin to shift out of this state? We need to consciously activate the parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest side. One of the most powerful tools we have for this is our breath. Deep, slow breathing, especially with a longer exhale than inhale, sends a direct signal to your brain that you are safe. Let's try it right now. Breathe in slowly for a count of 4. Hold for a moment. And then breathe out slowly for a count of 6. Do this a few times, feel that. That slight shift, that moment of calm, that's you taking back control. Another technique is called grounding. When you feel anxious or disconnected, bring your attention to your physical senses. What are 5 things you can see right now? Name them out loud. What are 4 things you can feel? The chair beneath you, the fabric of your clothes, the temperature of the air. What are 3 things you can hear? 2 things you can smell, and 1 thing you can taste. This simple exercise pulls your mind out of the future-focused anxiety loop and brings it back to the safety of the present moment. Movement is also crucial. When we're in fight or flight, our bodies are primed for action. But if we don't move, that stress energy gets stuck. This doesn't mean you have to run a marathon. Gentle, mindful movement can be incredibly effective. Things like stretching, yoga, tai chi, or even just going for a slow, observant walk can help your body process and release that pent-up energy. Pay attention to how your body feels as it moves. The goal isn't a workout, it's a conversation with your body. Let's talk about creating a sense of safety in your environment. Survival mode makes us feel unsafe everywhere. So we need to intentionally create pockets of safety. This can be a physical space, a cozy corner in your home with a soft blanket and a favorite book. It can also be about setting boundaries in your relationships. Learning to say no to things that drain you is a profound act of self-care and a powerful signal to your nervous system that you are in charge of your own well-being. Who you surround yourself with matters immensely. Connecting with safe, supportive people can co-regulate your nervous system. When you're with someone who is calm and present, your own system can mirror that calmness. This is why supportive friendships, family, or a good therapist can be so transformative. If you feel isolated, even connecting with a pet can provide that sense of safe attachment and co-regulation. Stroking a cat or dog is a proven way to lower stress hormones. It's also important to be mindful of what you're consuming, and I don't just mean food. I mean the news, social media, the shows you watch. If your nervous system is already on high alert, constantly consuming sensational or stressful content is like pouring fuel on the fire. Be intentional about curating your media diet. Choose content that is calming, uplifting, or inspiring. Unfollow accounts that make you feel anxious or inadequate. This isn't about ignoring the world. It is about protecting your inner peace so you can engage with the world from a place of strength, not reactivity. Now, I want to be clear, this is a process. There will be good days and bad days. You might take 2 steps forward and 1 step back. That is completely normal. The goal isn't to never feel stressed or anxious again. The goal is to build resilience, the ability to return to a state of calm and safety more quickly after a stressful event. It's about expanding your capacity to handle life's challenges without getting stuck in survival mode. Remember, your body has an innate wisdom. It knows how to heal. Our job is to create the right conditions for that healing to happen. Be patient with yourself. Celebrate small victories. Every time you consciously take a deep breath, ground yourself, or set a boundary, You are rewriting old patterns and teaching your nervous system a new way of being. You are telling it, we are safe now, we can rest. If you feel like you're really struggling to shift out of this state on your own, please consider reaching out to a mental health professional, especially one who is trauma-informed. They can provide tools and support tailored to your specific experiences. There is no shame in asking for help. It's a sign of incredible strength. Therapy can provide a safe container to process past experiences and learn new coping strategies in a supportive environment. Healing is not about erasing the past. It's about integrating it in a way that it no longer controls your present. It's about moving from just surviving to truly thriving. You deserve to feel peace. You deserve to feel joy. You deserve to feel safe in your own body and in your own life. The journey starts with one small step. What will your one small step be today? Thank you so much for spending this time with me. If this video resonated with you, please give it a like and share it with someone who might need to hear this message. And don't forget to subscribe for more content on healing and personal growth. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next video. Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, I want to talk about something that I think a lot of us experience but maybe don't have the words for. It's that feeling of just getting through the day, one task at a time, without any real sense of joy or forward momentum. It's what psychologists often call survival mode. Have you ever felt like you're just treading water? Like your entire day is a checklist of obligations. Get up, get the kids ready, go to work, deal with deadlines, make dinner, clean up, collapse into bed, and then do it all over again. There's no space to breathe. No time for hobbies, no energy left for the people you love. If that sounds familiar, you might be living in survival mode. And here's the most important thing I want you to hear today. It is not your fault. Living in survival mode is not a personal failure. It's not a sign of weakness, and it doesn't mean you're not trying hard enough. In fact, it usually means you've been trying too hard for too long under immense pressure. Let's break down what survival mode actually is. Biologically, it's our body's ancient fight-or-flight response stuck in the on position. Our brains are designed to handle short-term stress. You see a threat, your adrenaline and cortisol spike, you deal with the threat, and then your body returns to normal. But what happens when the threat isn't a tiger in the bushes? What if it's a demanding job, financial worries, family illness, or just the constant, overwhelming pressure of modern life? Our bodies don't know the difference. The stress response stays activated. When you're in this state, your brain literally shifts its priorities. The prefrontal cortex, the part responsible for planning, complex decision-making, and regulating emotions, takes a back seat. The amygdala, our brain's alarm system, takes over. It's all about immediate survival. Your focus narrows. You can only concentrate on the next essential task. Forget long-term goals or creative projects. You're just trying to make it to the end of the day. This can look different for everyone. For some, it's chronic exhaustion, that bone-deep weariness that no amount of sleep can fix. For others, it's a constant feeling of anxiety or irritability. You might snap at your partner over something small or feel a sense of dread on Sunday evening. It can also manifest as brain fog, where you can't seem to think clearly or remember things. You might feel emotionally numb, disconnected from yourself and the world around you. You're physically present, but your mind is a million miles away, just trying to process the endless to-do list. So, why do we fall into this trap? Well, our culture often glorifies the hustle. We're told to grind, to push harder, to sleep less, to be constantly productive. We see people on social media showcasing their perfectly curated, hyper-successful lives, and we feel like we're falling behind. We internalize this pressure and believe that if we're not constantly achieving, we're failing. We tell ourselves to just power through the exhaustion, ignoring the warning signs our bodies are screaming at us. Burnout isn't a badge of honor, it's a serious condition that results from chronic, unmanaged stress. Survival mode is the stage right before or during burnout. It's a defense mechanism. Your body and mind are trying to protect you by conserving energy and focusing only on the absolute essentials. It's a sign that your resources, physical, mental, and emotional, are completely depleted. Think of it like a smartphone. When the battery gets critically low, it goes into power-saving mode. It dims the screen, turns off background apps, and limits functionality. It's not because the phone is broken or lazy. It is trying to stay on for as long as possible until it can get to a charger. You are not broken or lazy. You are in power-saving mode, waiting for a chance to recharge. The first step to getting out of survival mode is the hardest one, giving yourself permission to stop. It's acknowledging, without judgment, that you've reached your limit. It's accepting that you are a human being, not a machine, and that you have finite energy. Repeat after me. I am doing the best I can with the resources I have. Say it out loud. It's so important to replace that inner critic with a voice of compassion. Once you've acknowledged it, the next step is to identify what's draining your battery. Is it your job, a toxic relationship, financial stress? The mental load of running a household? You can't fix a problem until you know what it is. Take some time, even just 5 minutes, to sit quietly and think about what aspects of your life feel the most draining. Write them down. Seeing it on paper can make it feel more manageable. Now, this is where it gets tricky. We can't always eliminate our stressors overnight. You can't just quit your job or magic away your financial worries. So, instead of focusing on huge, overwhelming changes, we need to focus on small, intentional acts of recharging. We need to find the chargers in our daily lives. This isn't about adding more to your to-do list. It's about being strategic. What is one small thing you can do today to give yourself a moment of peace? It doesn't have to be a 2-hour yoga class or a week-long vacation. It can be as simple as stepping outside for 5 minutes of fresh air without your phone. It could be brewing a cup of tea and actually sitting down to drink it, focusing on the warmth of the mug and the taste. It could be putting on your favorite song and just listening without multitasking. These tiny moments are called microdoses of self-care. They might seem insignificant, but they send a powerful message to your nervous system. You are safe. You can relax now. Over time, these small acts of replenishment begin to refill your energy reserves. They start to widen that narrow focus of survival mode and create a little bit of space. Another crucial part of this is learning to set boundaries. In survival mode, we often say yes to everything because we're afraid of conflict or letting people down. But every yes to someone else can be a no to your own well-being. Start small. Practice saying, "Let me get back to you on that," instead of an immediate yes. This gives you time to assess if you actually have the capacity for the request. Learn to say no to things that aren't essential. It feels uncomfortable at first, but it is one of the most powerful ways to reclaim your energy. And please, ask for help. Our society champions radical independence, but we are not meant to do everything alone. Asking for help is a sign of strength and self-awareness. It could be asking your partner to take over dinner one night, delegating a task at work, or talking to a friend about how you're feeling. And if you feel like you're truly stuck, consider reaching out to a mental health professional. A therapist can provide you with tools and strategies tailored to your specific situation and help you navigate your way out of survival mode. There is absolutely no shame in seeking professional support. Remember, getting out of survival mode is a process. It's not a switch you can just flip. There will be good days and bad days. Some days, you might just be focused on getting through, and that's okay. The goal isn't perfection, it's progress. The goal is to slowly, gently, and compassionately guide yourself back to a place where you're not just surviving, but actually living. A place where you have the energy for joy, for connection, and for your own dreams. You've been in survival mode because you are a survivor. You've been strong, you've been resilient, and you've been holding it all together, but now it's time to be gentle. It's time to recharge. You deserve to feel rested. You deserve to feel joy. You deserve to thrive. Thank you so much for watching today. If this resonated with you, please leave a comment below and share one small thing you're going to do this week to recharge. Let's support each other. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more content on living a more intentional life. Take care of yourselves